clarity in your life, in your art, in your reality. Clarity comes from what you're experiencing in the moment, designing in the observation, and allowing in the spark of just living. Sense making. I've been journaling about this. I've been really doing a lot more of the physical art, working with sketchbooks. And I feel like there's been space created in my mind to breathe, communicate, understand with the close relationships, the family in my life, whether virtual or in person, the close friends in my life that I'm blessed to have, that I'm realizing more and more continue to be friends, continue to relate, continue to actually have experienced the things that we relate to. Living in a community together, it's really beautiful when you find that. And even to this digital setup I'm creating now, typing in journal on my iPhone. I love that journal app. It's really opened up a lot more design. I'm falling out of love with time as a linear construct. I've been very good at my structured planner with time blocking, which is what I've never really intended the planner to do. But it's become more and more about linear time and less about the design elements. Part of that is iOS changing. All of my templates that I've enjoyed designing in Apple Reminders, my communication within my Google Calendar that integrates into Apple Calendar. I don't want to leave a single thing out in this because I'm looking at note-taking in Apple Notes and where everything is going today. And there's so much talk of AI connected to all of this that will let you be more human, will let you actually think through your process of life, decide your big life decisions. And I'm falling more and more in love with the construct of my own life's content as I'm journaling things like drawings and stickers with photo memories and of just things within the family like happy memories or mixed with creative memories from this year that I've created with different AI and different things. Sketchbook, mechanical pencil, looks like a pen. It's really cool. Just been enjoying the creation of life design and just understanding time as less about being linear, not relating to the typical time blocking planner anymore, but being able to have things sent to me, knowing that like where tech meets art is here. Letting the phone charge, playing with the kids, sketchbooking, as I've said, oil painting, light. In newer ways though, paint sticks, pastels, relating to oil painting in my family, that is, specifically. And really going deep in my conversations with family, with friends, about life. These are the moments that we can become more human. These are the moments that this here is my journal entry. This here is my log, because I've shared very deep experiences here on the podcast with you. I've done very deep research into the concept and process of life design. Still continue to do this research, how it works in the physical with a sketchbook and mechanical pencil, for instance. Designing the sketchbook cover with a logo. Not exactly the newest logo, but just a face, an eye, just designing whatever comes up. Automatic writing, which is the spiritual act of writing, whether that is handwriting, which I've done in the sketchbook, or typing, whatever comes up. I really have missed one thing the planner hasn't allowed me to do that I've kind of felt limited in is categorization. Really missed categorizing my life. I've had to do that in communication with other people to make our major life decisions, to understand each other from a distance. Whether we're in person or virtual, lately my communication has been a lot more based on life. My stereo setup here in Ferrite has been something I've come back to, as well as Apple's integration of apps and Google's integration into Apple. Apple feeding its integration into Google. Because of the life design add-ons and elements and space that you get within, it really feels like the paper. And then physically making the effort and activating this part of my brain that I've missed for years with just these little touches of physical experience. Giant sketchbook, spiral, I love spiral, and just the texture of the pastels, the paint sticks, which is like a new way of painting, really cool. And just this sense that we can be more artful about life, and we don't have to be so productive. We don't have to be so workaholic about our life. We can actually enjoy our work and allow time to fill us like the energy, allow time to send us, to notify us of things with a design in our reminders or calendar, but not limiting us into a boxed in planner. And letting these things carry us throughout our day. Allowing these things into our flow. Just interacting with other people. Movement. Learning about other people. Making room to listen to them. Something I've really missed. I haven't been very good at these past couple years. Reshaping how I think about places. We are so quick to want to end our places that we don't realize sometimes places require heavy boundaries from other people to us so that they are not feeling overwhelmed by us when we visit. Something that I've started to understand very well, especially with managing time. Enjoying those places even more when we're learning why other people might have those time management rules or boundaries, as well as organization and bringing the things that matter to those other places that are actually theirs, and respecting the property, as well as our own boundaries. Need that I've really learned is the space to type, to write, to draw, to paint, to color, to feel the art, to interact with others, to be outside in the fresh air and sunshine. The flexibility to realize that some places are way more valuable when we go less often, while other places, a little bit of a flexibility can allow us to go more often on a regular basis. Choosing to observe topics, private space to perhaps give feedback on those topics, but not necessarily have to share or talk about those topics as too much repetition in this show. For instance, been really missing journaling here in this show. Been really missing my truth in this show, the space that I've created here in this show. The deeper moments of this show, not the reactive sort of responses. I've really not been a good listener to life. Starting to listen to life and interact more and integrate that into this show. This show, as small as it is, as tiny as it might be, as quiet as this show is, which I kind of prefer that way, honestly, this is my life's work. This is not something I take lightly. I've changed how long or how often I've done this show. I've changed, stepping back a little bit if I've had to. If I found myself overreacting to this show in any way, I've had to step back. I've had to take breaks. I've had to realize I'm taking it too seriously and not having fun anymore. And then I come back to center and say, well, this is my life's work. It is connected to me. It is what allows me to empathize and understand you, to understand others in a very deep way. It gives me space to share experiences like this one, this introspective experience with you. And this is what I've missed the most. Just not being trapped in a cycle of a system that is too, quote unquote, structured. Taking the design that I've written into structure and putting it into my Apple Google system of apps so that I'm not trapped. I have plenty of space and variety of ways to type and talk and draw and record and transcribe, and with Apple and Google and Grok to conversate and save and capture everything from messages, emails, voicemails, phone calls, typing, dictation, recording, filming, everything into all of these apps that create a system and a calendar and a journal in a reminders template, whatever, in the Notes app, where it all just integrates. In a physical sketchbook, just drawing the visualizations I have in my mind that I have etched, that I really just would like to get out the shapes and aesthetics and the grids, the columns, the colors, the faces. The shadows. Understanding the complicated. Understanding the non-linear. Just craving to put together those puzzles of life every day. Transcribing these experiences with you into Grok to analyze, to conversate over. Going even deeper into learning, even deeper into research, even deeper into analysis and clarity. Creating even more space, expansive space to just really be and understand, to just observe and express, to capture my world, my life, my experience, to show you how important that actually is for your sense of self, for your sense of understanding, for your brain, for your process. And why I will never regret this show, even with the reactive moments, even with the embarrassment of off-the-wall collaborations, even with just the times of not understanding fully. This is my life's work. This is the connection to space. This is the experience. The collective. This is bigger than who I am just sitting right here. And in an age where we are wanting more in front of us, more focus, more understanding, it is less and less about the manual sort of a processing, and more about how we can agentically understand our lives